Hi, my name is Victoria Palmer. I'm on a team with Lauren Vigner, Maddie Alazon, Brooks Hoffman, Ryan Lee, and Tim Ryan. This is our final team startup pitch for the travel app Destinations. So, the motivation for Destination was looking at traveling needs. So, our interviews showed that many people travel between cities, states, and countries for pleasure, study, and work. One of the people interviewed said that they travel between cities about every 2 weeks, between states about every 2 months, and out of the country once every 3 months. Additionally, from our own personal experiences, we've had friends who go on trips for fun or rather for interviews, as well as people in our lives who we know traveling is part of their job. And so we wanted to address that. So you get to go to a new area, you see all the major sites. What's next? A lot of them said they'd love recommendations from locals. So aside from things to see, what do the travelers need to know? They want to know, how can I save money? Are there any tips and tricks that these locals might know that I'm missing out on? Directions and transportation? The safety of the area? Are there any neighborhoods they should definitely go to and those that they should avoid? Customs, cultural, and legal do's and don'ts, as well as dress codes. They want to make sure they blend in and don't stand out unnecessarily in a new area. And cost and currency restrictions. Are there restaurants that only take cash or vice versa? So with those pain points, we ask, what is Destinations? So you have these travelers who are either planning their vacation or in a new area and unfamiliar with what's next, what should I do in this new place? And literally, we put in the palm of their hand the answers to these questions. We do so by building a network between locals from the area and users from different areas visiting that local area. Additionally, locals from one area might go visit an area of a different tourist. And in that way, it slowly builds a networking device that allows users to be connected and find advice as they're traveling. So, who is this customer we're mostly focusing on? We're looking at beginning and experienced travelers, people who travel frequently for whatever purpose, students studying abroad, millennials, and Generation Z. The reason we've chosen this population is because they're the ones who are going to be familiar with the technology, as well as they might be the ones who are the most likely to want those connections, as well as want that advice. Additionally, because this app is nothing without people providing the information, we also want to make sure we're reaching out to locals from popular traveling areas. So, how did we choose those first locations? So, looking at a list of the 25 most traveled to cities in the United States, we found that New York City, Chicago, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., Seattle, Las Vegas, and New Orleans would be 7 great places to start. Additionally, when we're first starting the app, we want to make sure we're focusing more domestically than internationally. This is because it'll be easier for us to market within our network, as well as to make sure that we're limiting the language barrier that might occur in this first iteration of the project. However, as this app expands, we'd want to make sure that we're expanding into those international areas as well, since, as we mentioned before, international travel is definitely something that our customers are doing, and so we want to make sure we're appeasing our customers. So what is the value of this app? We want to have links to affiliate travel sites such as Expedia and Travelocity. Additionally, we'd want to make sure we're linking with ride-sharing apps, Uber, Lyft, and saying, is that available in this area or not? What other ways do you have to travel, such as renting a car, and what are the restrictions and costs along with that? Moving along with that, we'd hopefully want to maybe get discounts or be able to help partner with them in order to, again, reduce costs for our users. We can provide specific recommendations from locals. It'd be sort of like a social media type post. Locals could post a video, word caption, pictures of things they enjoy in their local city, and then users can choose to read more about it, go visit the area, and then give them feedback on what their experience there was. And in that way, you start a conversation as well as you're getting more reliable feedback instead of a Yelp review sort of thing. We also would want to improve communication by sharing links to Duolingo and Google Translate, as well as hopefully building within the software some form of Google Translate algorithm. We'd be able to have communication across different languages to, again, just help people feel more connected and share that information a little more freely. All of this will be packaged within the app and the website and available with membership to the users. So how are we going to reach out and keep our customers? So our main customers are those app users, both the locals and the travelers. To gain our first customers, app access will be offered to students at colleges and universities in popular areas and travel bloggers. Because students are the age of our main customer that we're focusing on, it's really important that we reach out to them. Additionally, they're very familiar with social networking apps, and so by word of mouth, it would hopefully spread throughout the college, as well as we could focus our advertising within a certain campus. They also would have a great familiarity with a lot of those popular cities as well. Travel bloggers are people who professionally write blogs about a local area, and so having them on our app would definitely help up that experience, as well as they would probably bring with them their subscribers in order to, again, get that marketing and our name out there. When you're actually using the app, we'd like to incentivize its use. Customers will receive rewards for posting content and recommendations. So the local users are getting rewarded for posting content because they might get a discount on their membership if they have one, or they might receive more posts. Additionally, customers will also receive rewards for viewing and endorsing content. So if you post something and it gets a lot of endorsement, you might be rewarded for that. Additionally, just interacting with the app gives you more benefits. And in that way, users are going to be incentivized to keep participating and keep using the app, regardless of whether or not they might be actively traveling or planning a trip. So what is the cost of this app going to be? So first, we're going to have the cost of marketing to obtain users. We would like to use word of mouth as well as advertising on campus. Advertising on campus definitely varies campus to campus, and so that might require us to get an actual quote from certain campus advertisers before we move forward in that. Additionally, a huge chunk of our budget we would like to spend on our marketing cost. The cost of starting an app or a website for a small business is typically $50,000 to $100,000. The cost of talking to potential advertisers and area expertise, that might also be within our marketing costs. And again, it's going to vary based on how we're communicating with them and what kind of results we're getting. Cost of staff that can address specific topics and update/monitor prices, as well as just make sure that the content on our app is acceptable. Usually a salaried employee is going to cost $50,000 a year. Additionally, the cost of office space, supplies, materials, and legal fees is going to be a huge chunk of our budget. It's about $8,000 to $15,000 for our patent, and with this app, we are going to probably have to develop some algorithms that exist. We also would want a legal team to make sure that we're not breaking any trademarks, copyrights, or restrictions on this code. If we develop something novel, we would want to patent it. That way we can't be competitive. We won't have competitors trying to take our idea. Already, this is a huge market flooded with a lot of travel apps and a lot of advice, and so we want to make sure that we're not sacrificing that. It's about $3,000 to $5,000 for a server, and with membership, you're going to need a server. And an office space is about $3,000 a month for 1,200 feet squared in Fort Collins. And so with those costs in mind, we estimate that the cost of developing destinations would be about $400,000. When we're looking at how to fund this, we're looking at crowdfunding initially. We'd love to save costs by utilizing expertise within the team. Personally, I'm a mechanical engineer and I have some experience coding, and so I could bring that to the table, as well as I'm sure most of our teammates have connections in these popular areas that they could leverage. But GoFundMe and Kickstarters are two options that we're currently looking at. We also think we'd want to add pricing to it and through in-app purchases. While the app would be free, since most of our customers said they will not pay for an app upfront, it would be free to create a membership and begin posting content, but there would be limits on that. So advertising, content sharing, such as increasing your posting limit, allowing you to have your content even higher up and prioritize, having more chat options, and maybe some premium membership benefits that we'll see as it further develops are ideas we're looking for moving forward. So an overview of destinations is it's going to be a limited liability corporation. That's because it takes a lot of the liability off of us, as well as it allows us to pass through taxation, as well as a whole host of other benefits. The goal is to develop an app to connect travelers and locals to improve the travel experience for all involved. We're looking at startup costs of about roughly $400,000, and we'll most likely crowdfund that, but that could go down by utilizing network and skill set. And we'd offer a limited free experience, but offer in-app purchases to create a profit on this product. So stop relying on convoluted rating systems and start relying on destinations. Thank you for listening to our presentation, and have a great day.